Robbie Blunt, and I see that Jez Wardrobe's written some too. I mean, did you cohese very much about this?
Yeah, as much as possible, really. I mean, it was quite an open situation. Paul he came along a little late in the day, the bass player. He arrived out of nowhere with his bass under his arm. By then, a lot of the structures of the songs were already in shape. Maybe one or two of them were yet to formulate. But yeah, it was an open situation.
I know that songs can be almost sometimes commonplace to the composer, but to the public they become very interesting. Look, for instance, let's go through some of the titles. Burning Down One Side, meaning what?
I think you ought to take that as literally as you like. I mean, it's just a case of... the lyrics are quite self-explanatory, really.
Yeah.
Just searching for the old flame. Wow.
What do you think at this particular stage? I mean, having made the album now and having played it back several times and reappraised all its particular values, what do you think of the outstanding tracks yourself?
I think Just Like I've Never Been Gone.
Yes, which I thought was terribly interesting. Just Like I've Never Been Gone. Does this reflect on yourself?
Not really. I couldn't find it. You want to know the truth? I couldn't find a title for it. I didn't really know. I mean, the lyrics are one thing. And when I was singing it, for some reason or another, I just started singing that on the fade. And I thought, oh, that's nice, you know. Such a corny title, it sounds like something off a Tommy Rowe LP.
Have you consciously...
I mean, it's not very sort of atmospheric. It's a romantic song, and it relates. I have a preoccupation with romance, unquote. What a lame thing to say, but I do. I think it's very important.
I noticed there's some tremendous saxophone playing on this album too.
Yeah,
which is something one never heard on Led Zeppelin.
No, I think the song on Pledge Pin, it really cried out for something to coming out of left field. To a lot of people, saxophone is quite ordinary, synonymous with a style of somebody, but I'd never actually had a sax on a record, and I thought that number cried out for something to come wailing out at the end.
I think that when people have their first listen to this album, they will be wondering if they're going to have any kind of heavy Zeppelin sound about it. And the first time it happened for me was on the number called Slow Dance. I thought it was very reminiscent of not a musical structure of any Led Zeppelin song, but of a Led Zeppelin feel.
Yeah, it's got a mood about it which has been kicked around for years and years in the camp that I have been in with Jimmy. I mean, we used to go to North Africa together, and I still go to North Africa, and I do buy lots of Arabic classical music and stuff like that, and I'm intrigued and infatuated by the music from that part of the world, and its mood, its atmosphere. The atmosphere is tremendous, you know, and what I wanted to try and do was to try and take that atmosphere and move it across a few degrees latitude wise.
Robert, tell us something about the final track on the last side called Mystery Title. I found that quite intriguing, actually. Can you tell us about the song?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about the song. Lyrically, as a song, it's quite a sort of a thunderbolt type of thing, you know. It's very sort of, it speaks for itself. Lyrically, it's about, I suppose it sort of conjures up the agitation that is inside me, the desire never to be around in one place long enough to start twiddling my thumbs, always to have the smell of some other adventure, even if it's round a corner that I can't quite reach yet.
Eventually, the album will be heard by the public.
It'd be a nice idea. Right
around the world. You will inevitably start touring. How strange will you feel, do you think, on stage with a completely new lineup of musicians?
Well, it's a great challenge. I mean, this situation is obviously something I'd never really bargained for, never thought about until I was halfway into it. And now being a good way into it, the challenge is there. It's going to feel strange, but it's going to be quite quite exhilarating too.
Is the challenge frightening, Robert?
No. No, I have no fear. You know. I mean, it's just a case of like, I'm going to have to build new relationships with people, and they're going to have to get close, and we're going to have to become a good, tightly knit unit. But the makings are there already, you know.
As a jockey, I've played many Led Zeppelin tracks, as indeed most jockeys have. I think the most requested is Stairway to Heaven. When you eventually land into the touring situation again with your new band and playing numbers from your Pictures at 11, and an audience cries out for Stairway to Heaven, what does Robert Plant, the singer, do about that?
I don't know. I can't. I obviously will not play it. I will not be a part of it. I mean, that song existed for the length of time it did, and that was it. I mean, I would never dream of doing those songs with anybody else. That's it. Out of the window, really. Well, not out of the window, but end of sketch.
Or in through the back door?
In through the back door, if you like, yeah. No, it can't be. It's a shame. I wouldn't play them without the other guys.
Robert, would you ever hope that any of the songs on this first album from Pictures at 11 are going to become monuments, such as Whole Lot of Love or Stairway to Heaven?
Well, if you're proud of what you do, you always hope that people are going to get into what you're doing, and not just say, oh well, there he is, that's him after Zeppelin, and you know, go out and do whatever they've got to do, if they dig the record, get it and listen to it. It would be great to think that there's going to be something somewhere that I do in the future that is going to get up there.
And are you already into the process of writing a new album, a follow-up album to Pictures at 11?
Yeah, I got about 5 tracks written, and this one isn't even out yet. I'm very sort of, at this moment, I mean, I'm probably heading for a big lapse, but at this moment I'm feeling extremely, how can you say it, productive, I guess is the word.